So, to kick off our event today, we have the incoming chair of Share Community Foundation here to share a few words about the theme of today's town hall and its importance. Please join me in welcoming Janelle Anderson.
Thanks, Aronke. I appreciate that. And good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Ashe's 4th annual town hall. I think that's really big. 4. We've done 4 so far. It's called Voices of Blackness and Disability, Exploring Lived Experiences Beyond Labels. As Aronke mentioned, I'm Janelle Anderson, Vice Chair of the Ashe Community Foundation. I'm a Black disabled woman. My pronouns are she, her. I'm wearing a light brown cardigan today. My hair is out in a big afro. I have blonde tips at the end of my hair. And I am sitting in front of a green virtual background with Ashe's logo and the name of today's event right at the top of my head. I am so honored to have the privilege of opening this transformative and intentional space created to center and amplify our voices. This town hall is more than an event. I want us to think how deeply this means to all of us. It's such a necessary space. It's a vital space that refuses to accept the erasure of our stories and our experiences as Black disabled people. It is a space that says loudly and proudly and unapologetically, Black disabled people exist, we matter, and our experiences are as diverse and dynamic as we are. We gather in this community space for healing, for solidarity, and of course, for change making. It is rooted in our core principles at Ashe, the for us, by us ethos that centers our voices, our lived experiences, and of course, our leadership. Because when we share our truths, when we share our stories, we are creating pathways for change, and change that is not only there for us. The town hall theme, exploring lived experiences beyond labels, is a powerful reminder of our shared humanity and the richness of our stories. As Black people with disabilities, our lives cannot be reduced to any stereotypes, to misconceptions or checkboxes on a form. We are not just labels, diagnoses, or even the challenges that we face. We're multidimensional people with hopes, dreams, aspirations, contributions, and boundless potential. Yet, too often, we are unseen. We're not listened to and underestimated. For too long, disability has been framed as a monolith, as a singular flat narrative that erases the nuances of race, culture, gender, and so much more. But today, we are continuing to disrupt that idea of a monolith. At Ashe, we are committed to challenging this status quo by amplifying the diverse, unique experiences of Black disabled people and rejecting that the idea that our struggles, our joys can be easily generalized or simplified. We understand that disability looks differently for all of us. It is a spectrum. Some of us have visible disabilities, others have disabilities that remain unseen to the world, but are just as real and valid. Some of us navigate the intersections of chronic illnesses, mental illness, neurodivergence, and systemic oppression in ways that are deeply personal, yet profoundly collective. And while our experiences may differ, we are all connected through our shared resilience and the unshakable truth that our lives are valuable, it is complex, and deserving of care, respect, and joy. And it is in spaces like this, spaces that are created by us and for us, that we can hold space for this full spectrum of experiences. Today, we're inviting you to reflect on your own journey through the struggle, the pain, the brilliance, through the many times that you've had to fight for your existence to be acknowledged. We hope you find validation and joy and community here. Because at Ashe, we believe that joy is resistance. Black disability joy in particular is radical in a world that too often tries to diminish or deny it. But here in this space, joy is celebrated as we hold space for the struggles, the challenges that we face. We also want to honor the joy that exists within our community. You know, that's the joy that we're finding in gathering right now, the joy in finding solidarity, in uplifting one another, in learning to accept and embrace ourselves fully. You know, and while we do that, we really cannot ignore the broader context in which we are gathering. Black disabled people in Canada are disproportionately impacted by poverty. You know, we are experiencing systemic anti-Black racism and ableism throughout our lives. The systems that are meant to support disabled people often fall short. Not only that, but Black disabled people are often excluded from mainstream disability spaces. Our intersectional experiences are often dismissed. That's why spaces like this town hall are so critical. So today, let's commit to learning and unlearning together, sharing our truths, and find support. It's where we can begin to continue this lifelong journey of acceptance that is buoyed by the knowledge that we are not alone in that process. This is where we come together to name these intersectional issues or interlocking issues. This is where we're envisioning solutions together. We are reimagining a future that centers our experiences because we believe the power of collective wisdom, cross-movement solidarity, is needed to, you know, in how we understand dismantling structural inequities, which requires bold and intentional and sustained action. We are here to ensure that Black disabled people in Canada, throughout the diaspora, are not just included, but that we are prioritized in efforts to create a more just and equitable society. So I urge you, as you participate today, share your truths courageously, listen to others with an open heart, and learn and lean into the power of community. This is our space, this is our time, and together we are reshaping our collective imagination of what is possible. And before I close, I just want to say, a word of thanks to the Ashe team today and everyone who's worked tirelessly to make this event happen. To our panelists, thank you for your bravery, insight, and willingness that you're going to share with us today. And everyone who is here in attendance, thank you to each of you here for showing up. You're showing up not only for yourselves, you're showing up for each other, you're showing up for community, you're showing up for the collective liberation of Black disabled people. So let's move through today with intention, with empathy, and with the knowledge that our voices, our powerful voices, can and will manifest change. Thank you. I'll pass it back to you, Aronke.
Thank you so much, Janelle, for those inspiring remarks. I mean, you killed it. So if you feel the same way I feel, please just show it in the chat, use your reaction, make some e-noise for Janelle. Very powerful remarks there. And this truly sets the tone for the important conversations that we will have today. Right about now, it's my honor to introduce our keynote speech from Minister Kamal Khera.
Well, hello, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone at Ashe Community Foundation for inviting me to speak today. Before I begin, I want to take this opportunity to thank you all for your tireless work. Day in and day out, your advocacy, your passion, and your work is helping build a more accessible and inclusive Canada. And I can tell you the work that you're doing isn't just transforming lives, it's transforming entire communities in our country. Now, as a Minister of Diversity, Inclusion, and Persons with Disabilities, my goal is to build a Canada where everyone, regardless of their background or ability, has every opportunity to succeed. Since day one, we've been working with partnership with Canada's disability community and Black communities right across this country to create a more inclusive Canada. But that doesn't just happen by accident. It takes deliberate and persistent action. That's why in 2018, we became the first Western country to recognize the United Nations Decade for the people of African descent. Since then, we have invested more than $872 million to support Black communities from coast to coast to coast. New programs we've created like the Black Entrepreneurship Fund, the Black Philanthropic Endowment Fund, and the Supporting Black Canadians Communities initiatives are delivering Black-made solutions for communities right across this country. At the same time, we've also been working to eliminate the barriers to accessibility facing far too many Canadians with disabilities. This year marks the 5th anniversary since the Accessible Canada Act came into force. And under the Act, we've been able to establish new national accessibility standards, invest hundreds of millions into making our workplaces and communities more accessible, appoint Canada's first ever Chief Accessibility Officer, and create the first ever Canada Disability Benefit. While we have accomplished a lot, we know there's a lot more work that we need to do when it comes to building a truly inclusive Canada. Work that we have to do together. Because at the end of the day, governments can't do this work alone. When it comes to building a more inclusive and accessible Canada, we need to take a Team Canada approach. That's why I'm so grateful for events like these, because the critical and constructive conversations that you're having today are helping find new and innovative ways to achieve our shared goal of building a brighter, more inclusive Canada. So once again, I want to thank everyone at the Ashe Community Foundation for inviting me to speak today, and I want to wish you all the very best for the rest of the town hall and happy holidays.
Thank you so much to Minister Khera. Come on, I'm going to introduce the panel that we have today. So it's my pleasure again to introduce the panel moderator for this afternoon, a true leader in the field of transformative education in Black disability and life experiences. Liza Arnason is a passionate advocate for education equity, particularly in addressing anti-Black racism, disability rights, and accommodations. Our extensive work spans across governance, policy development, strategic change management, and executive coaching. With over 30 years of enriching experience, Liza has dedicated her career to fostering inclusive, equitable environments that empower individuals and communities. Our work is a blend of advocacy and action, transforming the systems around us to ensure that all voices are heard and valued. Please join me in welcoming Liza Arnason, Chair and Founder of Ashe Community Foundation. Liza, thank you for being here and for moderating today's important discussions.
Thank you, everyone. And I have the pleasure of trying to facilitate an amazing, I don't know how to describe what's probably about to happen. I'm a little afraid that I have such amazing young adults in a space to tell us how and what things are and what they should be. So I'm going to do my very best to facilitate, but I know who they all are, and I will expect to lose a little control. So everybody, you speak what you feel, you speak what you want to speak. We are so thankful for you being here today. And we have, and this is the thing, I'll ask you, I'm going to call your name. You're going to tell people briefly who you are, and we're going to move on, and then we're going to start the questions. So let's start with Kellina Powell. Would you like to tell us a bit? Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited. Hi, everybody. And I am Kellina Powell, aka the Deaf Queen Bob. I'm an author, international speaker, and a mental health coach. And that's what I am.
Thank you. I'll wait for Jay to come on camera, and I'm gonna flip it over to the West Coast. Somebody woke up very early this morning, and we're very appreciative. Is Ariel? Please tell us, and also don't forget to tell us your pronouns preference.
Yes. Would Kellina like to tell us the pronouns before I go ahead?
She and her. Thank you.
Oh, perfect. No worries. And hi, everybody. Good afternoon. It's 9:30 a.m. over here. My name is Orelua. and my pronouns are they, them, or he, him, depending. Mostly they, them. I'm a non-binary person. For the most part, I'm just a student in university and a community leader. I'm an organizer and an abolitionist. So yeah, thank you for having me today. I'm excited to see how these conversations go as well.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to ask the technical team to stop sharing the PowerPoint, please, as we're in the panel now. And I'm going to pass it on to Africa, Spence, to tell us about herself.
Hello, hello, Africa Spence here. As said, I am a little multifaceted, which I think a lot of us in this space, in this community can be. So first and foremost, I am a lover of love. I'm an artist when it comes to painting, spoken word poetry, as well as film. I almost forgot film as well. And in my day-to-day, a lot of my time is spent in a lot of outreach work. I am a direct rep of Ashe. I've been with Ashe now. Like, I've got a few, I've got some time under my belt now, so I'm feeling much more settled, much more firm, and just loving the space, loving what's been provided to me. Other than that, what can I say? Yeah, this past year has been the first time, honestly, I know we're going to share so many stories, but me entering the world of claiming, I don't know, the disability journey, I guess. So it's going to be interesting speaking. It's going to be interesting letting you know a little bit of my piece. So thank you.
Thank you all. And now we have Jay Baldwin. Jay.
Hi everyone, I'm Jay. So happy to be here with all of y'all. Hey bestie, and by bestie I mean Oyo. We're longtime besties. We worked together with Ashe a couple of summers ago now. It was great. I love them so much. It's gonna be so good. Anyway, I am honing in to my disabled joy, my disabled queer black joy, because it's resistance. I hope y'all are well rested and ready, because rest is resistance. And man, I have some tea to spill, because the system needs to be dismantled. The systems of oppression to which constantly bring us down need to be dismantled. I'm a fourth year women and gender studies student at Carleton University with a double minor in disability studies and critical race studies. So I am a plethora of things. I'm also a chronic disturber of all things that need to be dismantled, all systems of oppression. So wherever needs to be dismantled, you will find me there. And so with that being said, I'm also a lover of all things Black joy and love, and just being here in spaces where we weren't allowed to be not too long ago. We weren't allowed to join together like this not too long ago. And I remember that and honor that. And as we all know, we are our ancestors' wildest dreams. So with that being said, let's get it going, because I'm excited.
Wonderful. Does everybody now understand what I said at the beginning? I'm going to do my best, but I have this feeling they will facilitate the whole thing and we'll just be sitting back. So one housekeeping. We had to purchase a larger Zoom account because we had 400 people. It didn't work, and it is working now. So if any of you have people that said they couldn't get in, please tell them they can listen to you now. Just jump in and they'll be let in. And our apologies, technology, what are we going to do? Okay, my friends. This is, okay. And I'm also 55. I'm a Black disabled woman. I'm a disruptor, disturber, and I'm good with it. It's all good. So let's start. Let's talk a little bit about our personal journeys. Tell us, any one of you can speak to this. We've lots of questions, so any one of you can speak. I won't ask everyone for each question. Tell us about your biggest challenge or your success and how the services, resources, or supports helped you or did it. Who would like to go first? Ariel, and then Jay.
That's actually pretty funny. I beat you this time, buddy. Also, hi, bestie. I didn't want to call us out in everyone's face, but hey, I miss you so much, and I'm glad we're catching up today and seeing your face. For me, I would personally say I feel like an intelligent student. I gather information very well, but I run into issues with subsections. So reading huge amounts of text. I'm also arts major with a double minor, so I'm always reading. But I don't have the right tools that I need. And I noticed that this year I've been advocating a lot for myself, accessibility office, trying to just get screen readers or speech to text readers. They're not trying to help me, y'all. The suggestion I got was we're gonna look into this for you for January. But I have classes that are done very soon, so just trying to advocate is really difficult, and that's my biggest need. And my parents come from a different cultural background, so explaining that, oh, I would have graduated a year early if I could have someone that read to me. And it sounds silly because in high school you were reading all the books yourself, but I realized that I'm having way more information to take in every day, and I have to like adult, so I physically can't do it without the accessibility resources. But again, I was on paper this really intelligent Black kid in high school. So my university is like, well, you did the thing, so we can't really give you the resources you're asking for because you're not that type of disabled. I don't know how to prove to them that I am. So I'm now stuck in a loop of not being able to excel, but not being able to not outdo myself. So I'm passing my classes, but it's still going to take me at least 4 years longer than it should. So that's it. That's it. Yeah,
So-
just not being able to read when I want.
Right. And so not getting access to
Yeah.
accessible technology because you're not seen as needing it as much.
And it's there. It's accessible. They've paid for it. You just ask for it and you should be able to get it. But they're trying to tell me I got to prove it. I don't know how I'm supposed to
And
prove
so
that.
do you know why they want you to prove it? Why do you think is really, name
The
it.
DSM-5, the DSM-6, and the way that they diagnose people outside of whiteness, and also the fact that the diagnosis criteria exists outside of Blackness or as someone who's queer and trans. AFAB, I was diagnosed as a Black girl who was already shy, quiet. It's a lot of things, but it's literally just they don't see us as human to begin with, and then you're seen as human, but then you're seen as a different human, or you're seen in a monolith. So how can you be different if you're all one thing? Or how can your disability be just like those other people's if you keep saying, but I'm Black, not white, right? So they don't bother to do the research on us, but then the definitions don't fit us because we're so supposed to mask. Because yeah, I am Black, so yeah. So it really is just the diagnosis system, the systemic oppression that comes with the race background, and then the ideas that already exist if you're Black. So you can't really be disabled, or like Janelle said earlier, Blackness is already connotated as a disability. So anything that is any Black person who's disabled that exists under that in a white supremacist society, it's just like, word, of course you're disabled. You're already Black. I wasn't surprised that you had a disability. So yeah.
Thank you, Ariel. Jay, you're on.
Oh man, I have a lot to say about this one. Cause I don't think there's one aspect of my life that can just be said in terms of what's more challenging for me. Cause I have trouble accessing everything. I have trouble accessing school. I have trouble accessing full-time caregivers. I have trouble accessing housing. Like, I'm still in the process of now trying to find a place to call my own, like after university, because I don't want to live with my family anymore. Like, I'm from Georgetown, this very small, white, racist, ableist town, and there's nothing in it for me. So if I want to work, I need to be out here, like out in Ottawa or out in Toronto, where I can go to spaces and not have to worry about my family members driving me because I use a motorized wheelchair. And I often find myself feeling like a burden, even though I'm not, because of the fact that I have to ask for so much care. Plus, now I'm noticing that with age, I'm almost 25. I know I don't look it, but good genes, black don't crack. Anyway, I know I don't look 25, but shoot, I feel like I'm 90 because I'm pretty sure I have arthritis everywhere. So I'm now working on getting physio because I've noticed like my body's changing, so it's getting harder to like physically feed myself sometimes because my wrist will like spasm, and then school's just, oh god, these people have given me a run for my money, and I've never ran a day in my life. Like, how is that possible? They take all my money, they take every will I have left to give, and then they expect me for and then they expect me to just figure things out when my classes don't have door buttons and I'm getting doors literally smacked on me. Like a few weeks ago, I got a door smacked on me at school because it didn't stay open long enough and left me with a huge bruise, and like I'm dealing with now extra pain on the left side of my body, and the left side of my body is already weaker because of CP, and like it do be hard out here to exist. It do be hard out here to exist, but with every time I exist, I know that it's a form of resistance against a system that does not care if I live or die. Frankly, they would love if I wasn't here, because then ODSP wouldn't have to pay me. I wouldn't need caregivers, so people wouldn't have to worry about me. They prefer I wasn't here because they already think I'm a drain on the economy. But all of this, I am not no drain. If anything, I'm the giver of life in this current time and in this economy, because my voice is loud. Everyone can hear me. Everyone can see me coming because I have tunnels in my university. So the whole time I'm zooming in the tunnels, I'm like, beep, beep, hot human in a wheelchair coming through. Hello. Otherwise, you couldn't feel free to sit on my lap. Like, if you're cute and revive, I don't mind. But, like, it's so hard. And I just want to give y'all a big hug and a pat on the back for being here. And I want to become a professor to break down barriers in academia. So I'm planning to graduate next fall, and then I'm gonna do my master's and PhD because it be like that. And I'm gonna make people hear us, even if I have to be the only one and everyone screaming my own name. So thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up. I know it's hard, but as long as we stick together, we're gonna make it through one way or the other.
Thank you, Jay. And that's called resistance. And I have to let you and everybody on this panel and everybody with us, you are loved, you are valued, and you come from a people that has resisted and has been. And we will call your name, Jay. We will call your name, Oreo. We'll call your name, Kellina. We'll call your name, Affrica. We'll call your name, Liza. We're going to call it, and we're going to call it as it is. And this is how it is. And this is an uncomfortable conversation. I see one more hand on the question. Kellina, did you want to add?
Yeah, I wanted to add as well. I just wanted to say, honestly, school has been a headache for me too. I actually had a music class, and I provided my professor my accommodation letter, and he thought I was lying, that I was hard of hearing. And he said, "Oh, let me see your ears." And I was like, "Excuse me, I'm not showing you my ears if I showed you accommodation." And during the semester, I ended up failing the course. Again, he didn't accommodate me at all. And he just said, "Oh, well, you're hard. Why are you in my classroom?" Like, he would give me a lot of attitude. And so I provided you the accommodation the first day of class so that you understand what my accommodation were. So instead of him realizing that I cannot listen in the music, so he would test music through listening. And I can't really hear well in the classroom. That's why I have a note taker beside me who can help me with the note. And I guess my note taker was taking a note, and he came to her like, "Oh, I hope you're not recording my class and selling my course." And I was
What?
like, "Yeah." I was like, "No, that." And so obviously I was heartbroken. You know, I was crying. I went to my disability counselor and I told her the situation. And so she tried to reach out to him 3 times, saying that please give Kellina a written test instead of a listening test. And did he answer the email? Nope, not one email. And he ended up failing me. I got 40% in that course. And we took it to the board member and we reported him, obviously. And I wrote my whole session about how he treated me and how he validated me in front of the whole class. Because he really did. Like, he's like, "Oh," I imagine though, I was sitting in front of the class so I can hear him. It's not like I sit in the corner or I sit in the back. Like, I'm really doing the best as I can. And he just shut me down. And so it really did mess me up a lot moving forward with university, because I was nervous that I was going to get something like this again. And my guidance counselor, she just kept going and going, reporting it, making sure he gets suspended. Like, she was not playing. My disability counselor, like, that is discrimination right there. That's against the, I guess she did, against the policy that they have at York University. And so it was really bad. And so he got suspended. He didn't even bother mentioning me, then apology, no, nothing. I haven't, till this day, I haven't heard from him. And my disability counselor thought he would respond back to her after those 3 emails. Nothing. And it's hard, like, especially schools and like even employment, looking for work. Like, you're going to come across people who's very ignorant and don't understand that there are policies for disability act. Like, there is such a thing out there for us, and they don't want to use it. And it sucks because we have to do things 10 times harder, or sometimes like to get things done. And that's something I face a lot, especially when I was starting to work at a job. I remember I had to quit 2 jobs because they were not accommodating me and I couldn't do it, you know. And yeah, so that's definitely my experience, my struggle, daily basis.
Kellina, thank you for sharing that. And it sounds like there's a common thread here, a lot of exhaustion, a lot of exhaustion nobody can see. That can't be good for our health.